What's going on, everybody? Texas Redleg here. Wanted to do a video tonight on a continued downturn of most of the things that we've been talking about, and then, of course, new revelations after new revelations. It seems like every day or every week, things seem to be compounding. I wanted to talk about sort of what's going on, in your areas and my region, I would say. And that is to go ahead and just expect there to be anarchy, okay, at some level. With financial losses likely to hit a lot of people, it already has quite a few people, but the next tier of people, everything from layoffs to firings to downturn in the stock market, which is, according to most experts, is going to happen. There's a lot of people that are, I would say, medium to well off, and they haven't prepared for anything, and everything's going to just be cut off, period, just cut off all of a sudden, and they're going to be desperate, Couple that with all the shortages of food, meds, fuel that are likely to, occur. It's all, full circle here. It's all domino effect. It's all, it sort of all runs together. Lack of workers, food shortages, med shortages, fuel shortages, logistical issues, not enough drivers, etc. There's going to be a void and there's going to be a vacuum. And I think a lot of these things, take fuel for example, or food or medicine. I mean, I'm sure that the criminal elements, organized crime, gangs, cartels, people here in America as well. I'm sure that they've got a buku, storage cache of a lot of these things that are in short supply. If you are a truck driver and that you haul meds or you haul, any valuable commodity fuel, refined fuel ready to go, oil that's ready to go, there's a good chance that, if you're out on the roads, there's a good chance you might just go ahead and get, jacked, and, for your product that you're hauling. Could be groceries, could be anything. If I was a truck driver right now, I would be extremely vigilant, extremely concerned being out on the roads, especially by yourself, especially at night. Because all those things regarding financial loss and shortages, I think it all runs full circle. And so if you're an unarmed individual transporting valuable commodities during a shortage or a severe downturn in the economy, you're a target, whether you want to believe it or not. So don't be a target of opportunity. Again, I saw a news feed today where Kroger in Tennessee, and some dude walked in and shot the place up. You don't get to pick the time and place of your incident. It's going to pick you. Please remember that. And please travel armed as much as you can so you can protect yourself, your property, and people around you, should it come to that. At least have the option, okay? But you don't want to become a target of opportunity, and that's whether you're a truck driver hauling valuable commodities, or going to the grocery store, or going to the post office, or dropping the kids off at school. You really want to be vigilant. You want to make others aware that, I'm looking out for you and I'm watching you. Okay? Don't be head in your phone, head on the floor, looking down. That's what they want. Criminals like soft targets that's not going to resist, and just give them what they want so they can go. That's usually what they go for. So try to avoid being that statistic if you can. But again, if I was a truck driver, I would be really, really on high alert right now, extremely high alert. As this thing gets worse and the supply lines again start to shrink more and more, uh, they better put security, armed security in these trucks with these guys, or it could be a dicey situation. Of course, now, going across state lines and all that, you got to be really careful about being armed, especially, in a career that you're getting paid to do it as security, you got to be careful with that. And of course, every state law, it's usually different, a little different on security, but some of them are reciprocal. But nevertheless, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But hopefully, trucking outfits that are carrying valuable commodities are considering having at least a secondary person in the cab, or security of some sort to protect these guys so they can maybe get to their destination. But it may come down to where it's so dangerous people aren't even willing to do it. There's not even enough truckers now to do what they need to do. So if things start to turn more dangerous, you start seeing, roadblocks and, riots and stuff like that. Truck drivers aren't going to be doing this anyway. So I would be on the alert for all that. It's the real deal, people. As far as my area goes with regard to stores, I'm not seeing a lot of empty stuff yet. I'm seeing some areas of empty stuff, like certain things that kids like, in the frozen section, they're gone, they're not going to be back for a while, most likely. If you see your favorite treats at the store, you probably ought to go ahead and buy them if it's something that your kid likes. But I think it's going to creep around till it finally catches up. But a lot of these videos I see of shortages in certain areas of the country, I'm just not seeing that in my area. I'm not saying, I obviously know that it's happening, just not in my particular area. So please keep the information coming so we can share it with everybody and let them know the status of the shelves in your areas, and also fuel cost and fuel availability. And kind of continuing on with the anarchy expectation, this health crisis, with the vax mandates, shortages of medicine, provider shortages, doctors are at risk and they don't want to treat people that are unvaccinated, and that's their prerogative, I guess, but expect more of that to shrink as well. Here we are, in the middle of a pandemic, or one that probably started in a new one, actually. We're having less medicine, less providers, less everything, And I went to grab a couple of, I was going to try to grab a C19 test kit over the counter today. I went to 3 different stores within, 5 miles of my home, and all out, not even available. And so that was a little unusual, I thought, but they're out. Can't get them. So, and one CVS had been out for 3 weeks. So, anarchy, I would go ahead and get it in your head that you're probably going to start seeing some of that. Government is very slow to do things. And people aren't, with this age of instant gratification and just stimmy checks, checks. I don't think the government's going to be able to handle it or keep up with people's needs. So they're going to find their needs somewhere, and do what they got to do. So expect anarchy, insulate yourselves, don't become a target of opportunity, okay? And keep your head on a swivel. And last but not least, fill those voids in your preps. I went to a local outdoor shop this week. You would not believe the amount of 9mm they had on the shelves. FMJs, hollow points, you name it. It was available. It was crazy. I bet they had 200-300 boxes. And it was just readily available right there on the shelf. And it was reasonably priced too. I didn't really need it, but I grabbed what I could and walked out. So, food for thought down the road. Um, and I'm a big believer, if you know how many freedom seeds you have, you don't have enough for what's coming. That's what I think. Anyway, hope everybody is having a good week. It's pre-weekend here, Thursday night. Hopefully, everybody's got a good plan for the weekend. You're paying attention. You're getting things done that you need to get done. You're staying healthy as you can, and topping off those preps and sharpening those skills. So, with that, keep prepping, stack it deep. Long live the Republic.